Now, it is your testimony that in the bundle you've produced before this assembly that you, at paragraph 11, honorable members, Senate members, I'm referring to the affidavit at page 263 to 265, and particularly page 264. At page 264 of your affidavit, Lucy, do you have your affidavit?
Mr. Katwa, kindly guide the members on the volume you are making reference to.
My apologies. It is the bundle from the county assembly, and it is volume 1, page 264. Paragraph 11, the last paragraph at page 264. In that paragraph, you say that in the morning of 29th, I called the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Robert Monda, and asked him what the money he had sent was meant for. And from the telephone conversation, he reminded me of his previous request on the assistance in the recruitment of his preferred candidate, one Dennis Mokaya. I declined to be influenced and asked him to reverse the money. That's what you said in that paragraph.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Now, since this process started, has that always been your position? Has it always been your position that indeed he told you what the money was for?
It has been my position.
Okay. Even as way back as 8th of February?
8th of February, it made a statement which was slightly different from this. I didn't know it will get...
Lucy, just answer my question. My question is the position you've taken at paragraph 11 the same position you've always held as way back as 8th of February?
That has been the position.
Okay. Now let's look at what you said on 8th of February at page 26. Honorable members, I'm referring to the Deputy Governor's report, page 26. At page 26 is your statement, isn't it? Are you there, Madam Lucy? Page 27. No, not this bundle, the other bundle.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm there.
The third paragraph from the top, you said, on the morning of 29th, I called the Deputy Governor. This is the same call you are referring to at paragraph 11 of your affidavit, isn't it?
This is not an affidavit. This was a statement.
Sorry?
This was a statement that I had made, yes, that I saw an affidavit to state the facts.
Which question are you answering?
Page 27.
Yes, so I'm just asking you, at paragraph 11 of your affidavit, you said you made a call on 29th, isn't it?
For the purpose of this Senate,
just answer
Mr.
my
Speaker,
question.
sir?
Please just answer my question. At page 264 of the county government bundle, paragraph 11, you said you made a call on the 29th to the governor, isn't it?
Yes, I did.
Is this the same call you are referring to in your statement?
It's the same call.
It's the same call?
Yes.
Okay. And you proceed to say, I called the Deputy Governor and asked him what the money was for. And what do you say on 8th of February is he answered you?
In that statement, I'd said he kept quiet.
In that statement, you had said, yes, he had kept quiet. And you saw the defense that the Deputy Governor made in the county assembly, isn't it?
Yes.
And you know that he made a big issue of the point that when you called him, he did not say the money was a bribe, rather he kept quiet. You know he took advantage of that point you made in that statement.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to clarify that I have sworn an affidavit, and that is what I'll stick with.
Lucy, we are not competing. I'm asking you questions.
Madam Lucy.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
My question?
I want to guide you, Katwa.
Yes, sir.
I want to guide the witness. Answer the question in the interest of time, as and when you've been asked. If you don't know the answer, say no, yes. Do not entertain arguments.
So Lucy,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So what I'm saying, Lucy, is you saw that the Speaker took advantage of your point that you said he kept quiet and said the effect of that is that indeed he did not tell you that it had anything to do with employment. You saw that in his defense
Yes,
at the
I saw.
County Assembly. Now, you then went back and swore an affidavit on the 8th of March
Yes.
after the impeachment decision of 29th.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
And in the new affidavit now, you've changed what your conversation, the content of your conversation with the governor has changed, isn't it? The content of your conversation with the governor on 29th has changed.
It did not change.
Did you say on the 8th of March when you are swearing the affidavit that you kept quiet the way you had said on 8th of February? Did you say he kept quiet?
No.
Now you're saying that he told you something?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so you want this assembly to believe which one? The one which you maliciously want to paint the governor negatively at page 264 on 8th of March, or the one you said he kept quiet on 8th of February?
The sworn in affidavit, Mr.
This one,
Speaker,
the
sir.
affidavit. But you agree the statement that is at page 27 is your statement, isn't it?
I agree.
Yeah, okay. Now, let's talk about the M-Pesa that you received. You said you received the M-Pesa at, on the 28th, isn't it?
Yes.
It is true that after you received the M-Pesa, you did not call him until the next day.
Yes, it was late at night.
You did not call him the same night, the
Yes.
same day. You did not. How long did it take you to see the M-Pesa? To see the M-Pesa entry?
I saw it immediately.
Sorry, in there?
I saw the M-Pesa said on 28th May 2023 at 21:24.
You saw it just around the time you had sent it?
Yes.
Okay. And why didn't you call him when you saw it?
That was 21:24. I wouldn't have called His Excellency at that particular time. It was at night.
But he had just sent you the money, isn't it? He had just sent you the money, isn't it?
Yes, he had just sent the money.
But you chose not to call him at that time until the next day, 29.
Yes, I didn't call
Okay.
that night.
Now, may I ask you, what time did you call him on the 29th?
On 29th, I called him in the morning.
What time?
That can be around 8 or 9.
Around 8 or 9. And according to you, you told him to reverse, isn't it? You suggested to him to reverse the amount.
I inquired what was the purpose of that money.
And then you told him to reverse.
After he reminded me what it was meant for, I requested him to reverse.
You requested
because it
him
was
to reverse. Now, when you are requesting him to reverse, you could also have sent it back, isn't it?
Sorry?
You could have sent back the money also, isn't it? That 29th.
Yes, I could have.
You could have, but you didn't. Okay. Now let's look at your M-Pesa at page 277. So you say you called him between 8 and 9. That's what you said?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
It is true that at 10 o'clock you used that money from him, isn't it?
The amount in my M-Pesa statement was 101,459. I spent 5,000 at 10:48.
Yes.
At 11:06, I transferred 5,000 from my
I will ask
M-Pesa
you the
account.
question again. I'll ask you the question again, Lucy. Is it true that whereas you say you called him between 8 and 9, you actually spent the money that he had sent to you at 10:48?
I can say that I spent the money that he sent to me.
So let's look at it. You received from him 100,000, isn't it, on the 28th?
I agree.
And your balance comes to 101, isn't it?
Yes.
And when you spend the 5,000 at 10 o'clock, your money reduces to 96,000, isn't it?
I have a Fuliza limit of 5,000, so I can spend.
I will ask you again. It is true that when you spend the money from Dr. Monda at 10 o'clock, your balance came to 96,000 on the face of the M-Pesa report.
Yes, I spent 5,000, but I want to clarify that I have a full user limit of 5,000.
Well, after you had spent the 5,000, the consequence was that even if you wanted to reverse, it wouldn't have been possible, isn't it? The limit was already below.
Now that I had requested him to reverse, I wouldn't have reversed.
No, I'm saying, so by 10 o'clock, the amount you have on your M-Pesa is less than the 100,000 you're telling him to reverse.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, by 10:48, I had 96,404. 11:06,
Now,
I had 101,404.
Again, I'll remind you, I'm the one asking you questions. It is also true that between 1528 and 1815, your balance is less than 100,000, isn't it?
Come again?
Between 1828 and 1815, sorry, 1528 and 1815, the amount is less than 100,000. The balance in your account is less than 100,000, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
It's true, okay. Now, you said the interviews were conducted on the 15th, isn't it?
The interviews were conducted on 25th May and 26th May, 2023.
Sorry, the interviews were conducted?
On 25th May and 26th May, 2023, Mr.
Could you
Speaker,
look
sir.
at could you look at page 27 of the Deputy Governor's bundle? Page 27. Are you at page 27 of the Deputy Governor's bundle, honorable members?
27.
Page 27. Page 27. The first paragraph at page 27. You say, after receiving application from interested persons, the board shortlisted 7 candidates for the post of commercial manager and invited them for interviews on 15th of May, 2023. According to the statement that you wrote on 8th of February, when were the interviews done?
25th and 26th of May, 2020.
Is that what you've said in your statement of 8th?
This was invitation. That is when they were sent for messages.
Could you read it yourself, Lucy?
They were invited for interviews.
Just read that first sentence.
After receiving applications from interested persons, the board shortlisted 7 candidates for the post of the commercial manager and invited them for interviews on 15th May 2023.
Invited them for interviews on 15th of May 2023. You are saying that statement that the honorable senators should not understand when you state that invited them for interviews on 15 May 2023, that when you say that, you did not mean that they come for interviews on 15th of May. You want them to understand it that way?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. What do you think of the senators? Now, so you say the interviews were, you now want to change this to say the interviews were done when?
25th and 26th of May, 2023.
Okay. Could you show us anywhere where you've adjusted that statement that the interviews are to be held on 15th of May to say they were to be held on 26th and 25th? Is there anywhere, either in the statement at page 27 of the Deputy Governor's bundle or page 264 of the County Assembly bundle, anywhere where you've adjusted the date from 15th to the 25th?
There is nowhere outside.
You have not done that. Yeah. It is something that you prepared for in the break to change the date, isn't it?
Not really.
Okay. Now, the interviews are, you said that the entity that you are the CEO in is constituted of a board, isn't it?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. And how do you conduct your, how do you determine the best candidate?
They are ranked, Mr. Speaker, sir.
In actual fact, they are scored by each of the board members individually, isn't it?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So, for purposes of argument, if it were to be that the interviews were done on 15th of May, or in the alternative, even if we were to say it was done either on the 25th or 26th, it would be the case that the best candidate would be determined by aggregation of the scores by each of the board members, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Council Katwa Kigen,
So, yes.
you have 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. In that scenario, Madam Lucy,
Yes.
the situation would be that if Dr. Monda actually wanted, first of all, the board members are appointed by the office of the governor, isn't it?
No, Mr. Speaker, sir.
How are they appointed?
The Board of Guasco has 10 members, 5 who are recruited competitively, and 5 who are ex-officio members by virtue of the positions they hold.
And who determines who is to be in the board?
They are appointed by the shareholders, the independent members.
And the shareholders are Nyamira County and the Kusi County, isn't it?
Exactly.
And the executive of both would be the governors, isn't it?
The CCM, finance, and water for both counties.
And ultimately to the governor, isn't it? Ultimately, the answerable to the governor, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much. And so if Dr. Monda really wanted the job, the people you would be speaking to would be the board members, isn't it? Who would be scoring?
Yes, the board members.
That would have been more effective. Thank you. Okay. And I would like you to look at page 189 as I close. Page 189 of the county bundle 189. And I'll leave that question. Madam Speaker, if you allow me the remaining about 2 minutes for my colleague to just ask 1 or 2 questions, please.
You may proceed.
Madam Speaker and the plenary, for the record, I am Kevin Mishuki. Madam Ohito, I'll ask you 2 questions in relation to the recruitment exercise in question. From your evidence, what role did you undertake in the shortlisting of these candidates?
Madam Speaker, in the shortlisting of the candidate, I never took any role. The board had hired an independent consultant who brought the report to the board.
Who was this independent consultant?
Alfred Consultants.
Alfred Consultancy. Are these independent consultants under the influence or guidance of the Deputy Governor?
Not at all, Madam Speaker.
Was the Deputy Governor aware of these independent recruiters?
I'm not sure.
So, given your evidence that he was trying to influence this recruitment, how would he be certain that Dennis would be shortlisted for the interviews?
He was, Madam Speaker, Dennis was.
So how would the DG be sure that this person would be shortlisted by your independent consultant to end up at the interviews?
By virtue of his qualifications.
By virtue of his qualifications. Okay. You went through the qualifications of all the candidates who applied for the job?
I didn't go through.
Okay, so can you be certain that he had the best qualifications of everyone who had applied?
Out of the list that was submitted by the Alfred.
No, of everyone who applied before shortlisting.
The document that was submitted to the board had all the list of the candidates who had applied, besides not only the commercial manager, but all the other positions and their qualifications. And he was shortlisted because he had qualified.
By the independent consultant?
Exactly, yes.
Who the DG does not control or influence?
Yes, he doesn't.
Okay, thank you. That is all. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam White.